Hey guys, what is up? It is Wrestler JFA here with my first video. I'm doing this for the Bro Empire because they're having a challenge called Bro of the Week, and it's where you make a commentary and they give you a topic and then you commentate about that topic and they pick whoever they thought was the best one or whatever. And this week it was a my first video. So I decided that I would do my first kiss. I know a lot of you are going to be saying, that's pretty lame, you know, my first kiss, that usually isn't that big of a deal. But it's kind of a weird place and like a weird how it happened is the reason I chose my first kiss. Now, I also am using a my first video in the background. It's my first jet, like my first time flying a jet in Battlefield 3, not a my first Battlefield 3 game or anything like that. It's just my first time flying a jet and I fail epically, as you'll see. But yeah, so let's start this off with saying that since I do have people that I am friends with on here, I'm not going to name any names in this. So I guess I'll just call the girl Lane because that is I am the attack's name. Sorry, David, I can't use your name because that's my dad's name and I'd just feel awkward if I said, yeah, I was making out with David or something like that. That would just be weird. And so I hope you understand that, David. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so we had never met before, me and this girl, but she lived right up the street from me and I had heard about her before. I mean, my friend told me that she was very attractive and that she was just like super hot, and I had never met her before. And one day I saw her riding her bike around my neighborhood and I messaged her that night on Facebook, and we were just talking and I was like, oh, hey, what's up? You know, I think I saw you on your bike today. I didn't know you lived by me and stuff. And she said, yeah, that's pretty cool. We should hang out one time or whatever. So I got her number that time, you know, needless to say, I know I'm a boss or whatever. But we started texting each other a little bit and, you know, we got to the point where she's like, all right, I'm about to go for a bike ride. You want to hang out? And so this was the first time we had ever met. She went by my house and we stopped. We were talking for a little bit and my parents were home, so obviously we weren't about to go into my house or anything, and her parents were home too. So me and Lane decided to go into the forest next to my house and we were just chilling there talking for a little while, and I took her phone and we started messing around and she was like trying to get her phone back and stuff, and she's like, hey, you know, how can I get my phone back? And I was like, oh, don't worry about it. So a little bit of time goes past and Lane has to leave. And so she's like, hey, I need my phone back so I can leave. I'm like, I'm not giving it back, like just messing around with her. And she's like, well, what do you want me to do? I'm like, give me a kiss. And so she gave me a kiss, needless to say, and that is how my first kiss happened. It was in the woods and it was because I took her phone. Now, a couple days later, don't think that that was the end. A couple days later, we kept like texting and stuff. We were still friends and everything. It was just kind of a little like, I don't know how to explain it. I guess we just kind of was in the moment sort of thing. And we ended up hanging out again. And actually, we ended up making out again in the same exact place, but this time for a lot longer. And she said I was kind of bad at kissing, obviously because it was my first time, and that she was gonna quote unquote teach me how to this time. And so she like sort of taught me how to make out, slash we just made out for a really long time. And for those of you guys that don't know, it's kind of one of those things that you can just pick up on, and you don't really need someone to teach you, but if you can like have a girl kind of give you some tips and stuff. But it's kind of one of those things you just gotta feel out and kind of get the feeling of it yourself. And I guess the more practice you get, the better you are. And a lot of people actually take making out the wrong way or kissing a girl. It's really not that big of a deal. I mean, when you're like, let's say freshman or younger, you are like, oh my god, a first kiss? I mean, that is just insane. Like, oh, I mean, me and my girlfriend just had our first kiss and blah, blah, blah. You know, once you get older, it's just a kiss. It's really, like, it really doesn't mean anything at all. And you can still kiss someone and be friends. And once you go to having sex, that's about when it starts changing. It's not really, you don't really have one night stands where you just like make out with a girl, never talk to her again. Like, you can still talk to a girl, but sometimes if you have sex with a person and then try talking to them after, obviously it's going to be awkward because you just saw them naked. But you know, this was my first video, and my first video, if that made sense at all, and it was about my first kiss. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please leave a like if you liked it, a favorite if you loved it, and this has been Wrestler JFA. Peace out, guys.